Welcome to Divyankura, the Knowledge Bureau. In today's video, we will discuss about Porphyria's Lover by Robert Browning, a poem prescribed in the syllabus of MEG-1 of IGNOU. This poem is one of my favorite poems, so I am really excited to do this video. Without any further ado, let's move to the video. The text. The rain set early in tonight. The sullen wind was soon awake. It tore the elm tops down for spite, and did its oars to vex the lake. I listened with heart fit to break. When glided in Porphyria, straight she shut the cold out and the storm, and kneeled and made the cheerless grate blaze up, and all the cottage warm. Which done, she rose, and from her form withdrew the dripping cloak and shawl, and laid her soiled gloves by, united her hat, and let the damp hair fall. And last she sat down by my side and called me. When no voice replied, she put my arm about her waist and made her smooth white shoulder bare, and all her yellow hair displaced. And stooping, made my cheek lie there, and spread over all her yellow hair, murmuring how she loved me, she too weak for all her heart's endeavor, to set its struggling passion free from pride, and vainer ties dissever, and give herself to me forever. But passion sometimes would prevail, nor could tonight's gay feast restrain a sudden thought of one so pale for love of her, and all in vain. So she was come through wind and rain. Be sure I looked up at her eyes, happy and proud. At last I knew Porphyria worshipped me. Surprise made my heart swell, and still it grew while I debated what to do. That moment she was mine, fair, perfectly pure and good. I found a thing to do, and all her hair in one long yellow string, I wound 3 times her little throat around, and strangled her. No pain felt she. I am quite sure she felt no pain. As a shut bud that holds a bee, I wearily opened her lids. Again, loved the blue eyes without a stain, and I untightened next the tress about her neck. Her cheek once more blushed bright beneath my burning kiss. I propped her head up as before, only this time my shoulder bore her head, which drops upon it still, the smiling rosy little head, so glad it has its utmost will, that all it scorned at once is fled, and I, its love, am gained instead. Porphyria's love. She guessed not how her darling one wish would be heard, and thus we sit together now, and all night long we have not stirred, and yet God has not said a word. Key points. Written by Robert Browning. Published in January 1836 issue of Monthly Repository as Porphyria. Later republished in Dramatic Lyrics in 1842 under the title Madhouse Cells. It received its present title in 1863. Rhyme scheme. ABABB. An unusual rhyme scheme. Themes: love, violence, sexuality, morality, social class, hypocrisy, and total control. Symbols: the cheerless grate means fireplace, soiled gloves, yellow hair, gay feast, pale, and blush. Possible source: John Wilson's Extracts from Goschin's Diary, a lurid account of a murder published in Blackwood's magazine in 1818. Next, the poem is the author's first short dramatic monologue and first of his poems to examine abnormal psychology. Summary: it is a stormy night. The violent wind tears the tops of the elm trees and ruffles the lake water. A lover is sitting alone by a burnt-out fire in his cottage, waiting anxiously for his ladylove to come to him. At the very moment, Porphyria steps into the room silently and closes the door to keep the cold and wind out of the cottage. She knelt down and lit a blazing fire in the fireplace, making his cottage warm. When she was done with that, she took off her wet cloak and shawl, put down her dirty gloves, united her hat to let her damp hair fall loose, and finally came and sat down next to him and lovingly addresses him. The lover, having made no reply, she takes his arm and puts it around her waist. She bares her smooth white shoulder, removes her hair from there, bends forward, and makes his cheek rest on her bosom. Then she spread her golden hair over his face and her shoulder, whispering that she loved him. Despite her love for him, her pride stood in the way, stopping her from indulging in her desires and letting him possess her forever. But her desire would sometimes get the best of her, and even though she had been at a happy, raucous party earlier in the evening, she could not help thinking about her lover, picturing her lover wanting to be with her so badly that it made him weak and pale, and all for nothing. So she came in the storm to see him. Without doubting her, the lover looked up at her happy, proud eyes, and in that moment he was finally sure that Porphyria loved him completely. Suddenly realizing how much she loved him filled his heart with happiness and pride, and it just kept getting fuller as he tried to figure out what to do next. In that moment, she belonged to only him, and she was beautiful, virtuous, and noble. The lover finally figured out what to do. He gathered her hair into one long blonde rope and twisted it around her thin neck 3 times in order to strangle her. Then the lover said that he is sure she did not feel any pain. Her eyes were like a flower with its petals closed up around a bee. The lover cautiously opened up her lips and saw her blue eyes again, looking happy and perfect. Then he loosened the hair from around her neck. Her cheek was rosy beneath his passionate kiss. He propped up her head and this time it rested on his shoulder. Her little smiling pink face is still there, resting on his shoulder. She is happy that she finally got what she wanted. All the things she struggled with are gone, and she has owned his love instead. She never guessed how the lover would interpret her single sweet desire. They are sitting together and they have not moved all night, and God has not said anything about it. Analysis. The writer starts the poem by using the technique of pathetic fallacy, providing the weather with human emotions. The wind not only blows, it is also sullen and awake. It knocks down elm trees for spite and tries its best to annoy the lake. Since wind is not able to feel emotion, it appears that the narrator is coloring the outside environment with his own internal emotions. He feels gloomy and spiteful himself, not the wind. The first thing that Porphyria does when she enters the lover's house is light his fireplace even before she takes off her soaking wet coat and gloves. She seems to care very much for her lover and puts his comfort before her own. The lover calls the fireplace a cheerless grate before Porphyria comes over. It's as if she gives his house a sense of home. When the lover notices Porphyria's hair, it foreshadows what will occur at the end of the poem. He calls it the damp hair, not her damp hair, as if she does not possess it herself. The lover describes that Porphyria intentionally exposed her shoulder, but it can be possible that the lover is watching her as she moves about. She may have not been trying to purposefully catch his eye. Even so, the lover believes that she made her shoulder bare. Then she made the lover's cheek lie on her bosom. Once again, the narrator alludes to the fact that Porphyria made something happen. He is making it seem as if Porphyria is forcing him. Even though she is able to make him do things against his will, she is still weak because she is not willing to enter in a fully committed, serious relationship with him. For this reason, the narrator is not happy with her and afraid to lose her. Porphyria appears to be the one coming out on top since she is in control of where their relationship is heading. The lover wants to possess Porphyria forever and feels this relationship has been in vain. When Porphyria tells him that she loves and worshipped him, the lover is slipping more and more into a possessive dominator. Here we see that the narrator wants to fully possess Porphyria and keep her all to him. He thinks that Porphyria is only pure and good when she is submitting to him. The lover realizes that she can be his forever if she die at this very moment, and he found a way to kill her. After the lover strangled Porphyria by her own hair and kills her, he looked into her eyes to make sure there is no life left in her. He is associating life with pain. However, the life inside her that has the potential of being alive is seen as a bee. It is beginning to become apparent that the narrator is not fully aware of what is truly taking place. He sees Porphyria's dead eyes as laughing, happy to be dead, and without any sign of hatred or malice towards her killer. As the narrator did not kiss Porphyria during the whole scene while she was alive, he decides to kiss her after she is dead. He calls it a burning kiss. Burning is usually associated with desire and passion. It's strange that he finds this passion in kissing a completely and utterly submissive woman. He seems proud of the fact that Porphyria lies on his shoulder. Porphyria is now referred to as an it. The lover believes her will has been fulfilled because now he fully dominates over her. He is fully convinced that it was her one wish to lose her sense of independence to become completely under his power. The lover thinks that his action is justified as God does not punish him after he murders Porphyria. In the medical world, porphyria is a genetic abnormality of metabolism causing abdominal pains and mental confusion. Porphyria can affect the nervous system, skin, and gastrointestinal system. Likewise, in the poem, Porphyria seems to be a source of pain and mental anguish for the lover. Question. The rain set early in tonight, the sullen wind soon awake. It tore the elm tops down for spite, and did its oars to vex the lake. I listened with heart fit to break. Asked in June 2020 Termed Exam of IGNOU. Marks 5. Answer. First point. Reference. These are the opening lines of Robert Browning's poem Porphyria's Lover, which was first published as Porphyria in the January 1836 issue of Monthly Repository. It was not until 1863 that it receives its definite title. Next point, context. It started raining early tonight. The rain was soon followed by a violent storm. The storm was so tumultuous that it pulled down the upper branches of tall elm trees. It appeared that the storm was doing all the damage out of sheer malice. It also did all it could to agitate the water of the lake. The lover hears the storm howl outside and is oppressed with anxiety, lest his beloved Porphyria, for whom he is waiting for, may not come. Breathless anticipation for Porphyria is about to break his heart. Next point, explanation. The external storm reflects the turbulent state of the lover's mind. Words like sullen, tore, spite, vex, break express both the chilling violence of nature and the lover's nervous irritation. This passage is remarkable for the suggestion that what is normal in nature become abnormal in man. The storm tearing the elm tops down out of malice suggests the murderous action on the part of Porphyria's lover, who will gruesomely murder his beloved, not out of malice but out of whim. Next point, critical comment. The poem is written in iambic tetrameter. There are 4 iambs, means unstressed syllable followed by stressed syllable in each line. The poem follows a rather unusual rhyme scheme, AB, ABB. The first 5 lines are not an exception. The wind is a personification as it is acting out of spite. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video is helpful for you. If you like my content, do subscribe my channel, Divyankura, the Knowledge Bureau. Stay tuned for further updates.